Okay, I will now swap out the agenda briefly. It is 7 o'clock, so some of us thought the meeting started at 6:30. Some people thought it started at 7. So everybody who, worst case scenario, thought it was 7 should be here. We will, if you will, take out your yellow. If you arrive late, raise your hand if you need a yellow ballot. Actually, don't raise your hand. Just come up and see Valerie. Walk on up and see Valerie. Give her your name so she can check you in. That's it. And you, again, you're not late given that there were 2 times published. You were on time for one of the published times. On the yellow ballot, you have the people who have been nominated for diocesan convention delegate. Self-nominations work. You do have to be available first for a meeting first week of September, either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday evening, and then for diocesan convention, which occurs October 15 through the 17th. We get there Thursday night. We're have stuff all day Friday and 3/4 of the day on Saturday. Are there any more nominations for diocesan convention delegate? Don moves that we close nominations. Is there a second? And there's Walter right behind him. All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right. If you'd fill out your yellow ballot, and I have appointed the gardeners as lectors, they will be coming up and coming around and grabbing your ballots. Pass them down to one end of the row, but not both. Yes, you can. If you mark more than 3, it will invalidate your ballot. Thank you, Mary Kay. Up to 3, what it said on the ballot. Up to 3. All right. Just so you know, 5 years from now, you'll all just punch a button on your tablet, and things we'll have the results will come up instantly on the screen. And I know we could, but yeah. All right. My report's in there. I'm not going to read it to you. The things that I think are most important, if you look on page 7, and the five bullets there, the 3 that are already checked off. And one of the most important things that we need to understand is that as we move into becoming a bigger church, we need to get smaller. Let me explain. In the past, when you have 50 people on a Sunday at a service, you know everybody. when you have a church that has 70 active women, they all know each other. They're all in the Women of St. John group. The men all know each other. Everybody knows everybody. But when you become a church of 4, 5, 6, 7, 800, it becomes more difficult. And add to that, how many have been members of a 1,000-member church or more? Maybe 2%. At our present size, we are already in the 7% largest Episcopal churches in the nation. When people retire and move here and join our church, their experience is most likely of a church of 70 people, maybe 100. The 1,000-plus member church that I used to attend now worships about 100 and change. In the Midwest, the Northeast, things have changed. The good news is, here in Florida, we continue to enjoy growth and development and life. In order for that to continue, we have to consciously make ourselves aware of our unconscious desire not to grow. No one is against growth, right? Everybody thinks a growing church is a good thing. If you ask anyone, they will say yes. And yet, unconsciously, we all have things that we do because change is not something that anybody seeks out. I like it the way it used to be. It is 2020. Our prayer book has been our prayer book since 1979. And we still talk about it as if it's the new prayer book. Decades old, but it's the new prayer book. So nobody embraces change as much as they would like to or need to. By getting smaller, it's important that you belong to a group, a small group, a Bible study, the choir, any altar guild, any number of places where when you walk in, everyone knows your name. Church should be like Cheers. Yeah, everybody knows your name. And I'm sorry, but I could call on two people now, and I bet you don't know each other's names. That's okay. A human being, at best, can handle about 70 to 75 relationships where you know somebody's name and a little bit more about them. Which is why 80% of Episcopal churches are fewer than 100 on Sunday. And because we fight that urge to welcome others, we end up in that situation. The good news is, I think everybody here understands that the mission of the church is to reach those who still have not found Jesus. It is our job to reconcile the world to Christ. And my hope is that we will put a lot of time and energy into those activities around here that do that. The worship services, the outreach ministries, Curcio, Alpha, Happening, all of those kinds of things, which are places where non-believers can come in and maybe even feel comfortable without being overwhelmed at our services. Because we do. We stand, we sit, we kneel, and you never know which you're supposed to do. Our Christian aerobics can be confusing sometimes. But we need to be a place where, first off, it's like Disney. Everybody is our guest, and we want to make them feel welcome. And we need to be a place where we are connected one to another. At least in, Jesus had a small group of 12, and that seemed to work pretty good. Well, there's always that one, but that's going to be true in every group. But find your group, find your place, find your ministry. Find where you are so that you can help us make that transition, because they've done a lot of research and they've decided there's 5 kinds of churches, 5 different church sizes. And really, you can function healthy in any one of the sizes except the middle one, which is what we are. Because we have the expectation of ministries. People want nursery, they want Sunday school, they want senior programs, they want, why don't we have a bus going around picking up seniors? Why don't we have, all these things? But when you don't have enough people, you can't fund them. We've been blessed by very generous gifts from people who have gone on. Thank you, by the way, for all of you who attended the Legacy Workshop last weekend. Appreciate that a great deal. There's so much we can do. There's so much we can do to make sure that we continue the ministry that was started 50 years ago in Ruskin. And that doesn't go away, but continues to grow and evolve. The plan for this place is now in sight. We can see the possibility of finishing what was started many years ago. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this was only supposed to be a parish hall. This was not supposed to be the church. Another larger building was supposed to be next door with the church and Sunday school rooms and offices. We can get there. But it will require us being very conscious of making changes so that people, when they come in, feel comfortable. That when people want to connect in the church, we make room for them. Help others find a ministry in this church. Bring someone alongside of you. We had a person who's been a member here many, many years. Comes to service, goes home. Recently, they were given a ministry, something to do. Well, now, they're a little more excited. Not only that, they turned in an estimate of giving card. Woohoo! It matters if you feel like you're part of the team. So find places to involve other people, new people in ministry that works for them. If they ask, can I help you? Say yes. Do never say, oh no, I've got it. That is the wrong answer in the church. The answer is, yes, you can. Why don't you come up? Let me show you how to do what I'm doing. Encourage people getting involved in doing stuff. That's the major thing that I want to emphasize this coming year, and hope that all of you will support the leadership and the team in making that happen, because we really believe that the future of this church is solid, and it's going to go on for years. Questions? Thank you. All right. We have a election, and our diocesan convention delegates are Val Bryant, Aubrey Thompson, Sharon Van Loan, and first alternate is Ali Mayoki. So thank you all, and congratulations.